pledge allegiance to the flag of the United States of America and to the republic for which it stands, one nation, under God, indivisible, with liberty and justice for all. Thank you and welcome. Welcome to tonight's board meeting. Board meetings are generally held on the third Tuesday of the month. The Board of Education is a body of school district residents elected by the community in charge with conducting school-related business. The meetings are conducted under the open meeting law, but are not open forums for the community. That being said, visitors to these meetings are to conduct themselves properly and with respect to any other individuals at the meeting. The Board of Education reserves the right to remove any individual for improper display of behavior or inappropriate language. The Board of Education will have a period of time to vote the visitor requests following any board presentations and approval of minutes shortly after the opening of the meeting. Individuals wishing to address the board will be permitted to speak up to 3 minutes, and a total of 30 minutes may be allowed for public comment. If we have any visitors tonight, we can go over the guidelines a little bit more closely when that time comes. Carla, can you take roll call for us, please?
Mr. Zeeland?
Here.
Mrs. Emerson?
Here.
Mrs. Benjamin?
Here.
Mrs. Thompson?
Here.
Mrs. Younger-Davis?
Present.
Mr. Lamb?
Here.
Mr. Stabell?
Here. Thanks, Carla. We have presentations tonight. These are from our administrative team, so whenever you're ready, guys, take it away.
Sure, so this is the time of year where we kind of give the board and the community the state of our district. You'll see some reports from our building principals. I'll be talking about some of the department, and this information is just for you to know. So as we, really dive into next year's budget, for you to be able to make, proper decisions moving forward. So tonight's topics will start off with the elementary school. We'll look at some of the past and some of the future history and some of the initiatives that we're going to be exploring going into next year. Same with the middle high school building, special education. Rob will report on technology. I'll mention some facilities and transportation updates, and then we'll just talk about some of the executive budget items that are out on the table right now as of what we know here in February. So I'll turn it over to Heather.
Yeah. Hi everybody.
Hey, Heather.
So we'll start with the elementary. Just some of our highlights for our students is obviously the extracurricular that we can still offer that we're really excited about. We have our band, our chorus, page turners, math Olympiad, run club, and our student council. They're all up and running, doing really great things, full of kids. They all have full rosters. The run club is the last one to get started. That's just a spring event, so they're gonna be starting here in March and running on Fridays. And once they start, the rest have been up and going. Page turners has been really, successful in their competition. Student council's doing lots of different things, and I think you saw the success of band and chorus just in the concert we were already able to see this year. So it's a highlight for us. Our academic highlight is the math pilot is up and running. It's Reveal. Been working with Connie a lot and the pilot team, using our resources, just having a lot of collaborative conversations. Professional development, both just with the Reveal program, we were able to provide that to our pilot team, and also just with each other and providing that time for them to work together, best practices, tips and tricks that are working. And then we're also proud of our district goal for SEL. The family meetings were happening in grade 3 to 5, and this year we extended them to grade K through 2. So now all students, grades K through 5, are receiving family meetings. So that is something we've already accomplished, and we're going to keep going on. So here's our enrollment. This is this year. We did the projections. The only one that is a little bit of a guesstimate, obviously all of them are going to have a few, is UPK into kindergarten, because our UPK is limited. So I spoke with Lynn, and the trend is usually about 10 more than that, so that's why I went with that. So I did keep the sections exactly the same, but I did want you to know that these numbers are our gen ed students and our special ed students. So just in the sections I put for that it was, +3 special classes, but I didn't contribute those into the section, so it wouldn't be adding to those. So these are numbers for currently, which would just really roll over to next year. But I will tell you, we have enrollments all the time lately, so I can't promise that this is what it's gonna look like, because it seems like all the time we're just getting new students, so that's an exciting thing. And then looking ahead, it's just our math pilot, making those decisions, making informed decisions with the feedback of the team that's doing that, with the information that we have. We're going to, this is something Lynn and I are working really hard on together, is continuing to work and foster relationships with outside districts to appropriately place our special education students. That often looks like them coming to us, sometimes if we have to work with them for our students to go there. And then continue to implement the SEL and family meetings K through 5. We've gotten a lot of great feedback. I really think it's important for all of the students to get that, so it's something that we're gonna continue on into the future.
Within the middle high school, the highlight for us is status quo. What I mean by that is that we're doing, I think, some cool things and we're moving the needle. We want to continue to do those things with this year's budget. So there are no major additions to it. Our budget looks relatively the same as last year. There's no major furniture additions, equipment additions, programming additions. It's really just kind of rolling over what we did last year and continuing with it. So some of the highlights here are the student support, which is, we're off and running. I think that's more ingrained now than it ever has been. This past Saturday, we had 15 kids show up voluntarily, so I love the way that that's gained traction. We want to continue to offer opportunities for our community and our kids to use things at the fitness center, and we want to have those enrichment opportunities with the field trips. All those are budgeted, and we think we can, go into next year without having a disruption in those services or in any way, shape, or form. The academic highlights, again, as we look at things like student support and who's failing which classes, it's opened up some opportunities for us to talk about grading practices. We're in the process of auditing what we grade and what we put in our grade book. I think that's good practice. It's a good exercise for all the teachers. We're off and running doing that, in addition to the curriculum updating, which takes place naturally. The graduation rates are moving to where we want them to be annually, so last year with one kid not making it, we're getting closer to that 100% rate, which is the goal always. It's not without a sacrifice our budget next year. We're gonna go with 2 less teachers. This is confusing, and I apologize. I'll try and walk you through what I'm intending to display here. And as I set it up and put it together this way, I think it needs some explanation. But we're going without an ELA and a social studies teacher. And I have the number of teachers in that column, and in some cases you'll see half a teacher or a quarter of a teacher because we share that teacher within another subject area. Or in the case of, say, Adam Reed, for example, is an elementary teacher. He does some science and some social studies. But when I take the number of teachers by the number of sections we have this year, and that includes AIS sections, where we would be next year would be at this many teaching sections per teacher. And in some cases, if you look at the contract, teachers are allowed to teach 5 + 1 elective, so we can get up to 6. What I'm trying to show here is this isn't without its sacrifice. In order to make this fit contractually, we'll either have to cut down on the duties that some of these teachers currently teach now, or we'll cut down on the AIS. There's some wiggle room in ELA because we have a teacher designated specifically for that. But that's how we'll make that work within. And then with math, science, Spanish, and the rest, it's the same number of staff, but you can see where they're at contractually with the number of anticipated sections. And anytime that we have to make something work, again, this is where we begin to borrow from, but there's support staff that fills these needs that we have to make sure we're adequately staffed for that, and I believe that we are. Okay? I kind of highlighted this when I talked about the recent number, the previous slide, but these are the other stuff teachers do. It's not something that you see, doesn't make the headlines, so to speak, but they are important duties that someone has to fill during the course of the day. So even when there's some wiggle room with teaching sections, there's other stuff that has to be picked up somewhere. And then, we're not looking to add those new staff. We will need to replace our Spanish teacher. I have some feelers out to replace that position. Mr. Fiskus and I will attend the teacher recruitment center coming up soon. And there have been already some interest in that position, so I'm excited about that because there's not a lot of Spanish teachers out there right now, but no extra expenditures. And again, as Mrs. Gator has said in the previous slide, there's some things we can do within our special ed population, what we do to make sure that we're appropriately placing our kids, and that'll continue in the school as well.
So my lens this year, obviously being new in this role, trying to highlight what we have in our special ed department. At the high school, you have the consultant teacher model. In the elementary school, they have the integrated co-teaching model. That helps with our kids that don't need that special class, but they need some modifications to their curriculum or to the way that it's being presented, but not a modified curriculum. So it kind of gets confusing when you talk about special class. All of our related services that we are able to provide, our OT, our PT, our speech, music therapy, and our behavioral specialists. This district's been really blessed that we can do mandated and not mandated. And I don't think that's the case for a lot of districts. I think that when budgets get tight, we focus only on the mandated, and then some of our improvement kids don't get that service. We've been able to do both, and I'm really proud of that because early intervention has been the key, and without doing some of those improvement services, some of our kids just aren't getting serviced. So that's why I was highlighting this section. And then one of the things that you've heard a lot about is our special classes. So we do have a special class 611, it's a K2 model. And then you can see all the way down. New for next year, Matt and I worked with Adrienne Fiore, really trying to brainstorm how to support our special class kids. We will have a section of the 6th grade 1211. There's going to be about 7 of our own kids in that setting, and then we will have a combination 7-8. Part of that reason, 1, the numbers, 2, the curriculum is very different, and 3, some behavioral stuff that we need to address. So the other 2 slides we talked about, we're talking as a region about how can we support each other. So there's 8 component districts that I've been working with to talk about, I have an opening here for a special class, I can take 3 kids. Let's create some student profiles and make sure they're good fits. It's not saying that every behavioral kid is coming to Oakfield, but kind of servicing that same cognitive level and that need academically. But all of the region is facing, agencies are full and there's wait lists. So the alternative can be home instruction, which is not ideal. So really trying to utilize our resources in our neighboring districts will also reduce some of that travel for families.
And Ms. Gaylor, we should mention also that that 1211 class is not additional staff, that's staff that will absorb within both
Yep.
the aide and the teacher.
We've been able to be very creative with scheduling. Next slide. One other area that I really wanted to focus on that does have a pretty big cost to it is your agencies. So we have our private and our BOCES. We have about 13 students currently that are in these agencies and these special placements. And those range from a variety of your tuition and then your related services on top of that. So I wanted to highlight that that's something also that we're being cognizant of. I've been able to go in and do some different observations of students and settings to see, are we able to move into a least restrictive environment and find maybe if they're in a private sector, go to a BOCES and try. But also making sure that using our regional resources before we try to go to an agency. So I don't know that we've spent a lot of time in the past talking about this, but this is a big chunk of my budget.
All right, next up is me. Let's see, make sure I can hear me. Okay. All right, so the staffing we have currently is 2.6. We have myself as the first bullet point, Director of Technology. Second full-time employed by the district is Alex. He's our IT System Support Manager. Between him and I, we split the educational side and the instructional side and the information side. So we kind of play in both arenas there, but we each have our specialties that we use. The third is hired by BOCES, and that's our part-time position, which is Jacob Sheets right now. Right now we have him for a Monday, Thursday, Friday schedule. On the next slide, we have a variety of things that we do. So if this thing isn't working, a ticket goes in, and it's either myself, Alex, or Jake that have to figure out why. Sometimes we're working with outside vendors. A lot of times we prioritize certain platforms over others. So for example, if the clocks aren't working, that's more of a concern than the printer's not working. So with the 2.6 of us, we spread around as best as we can, triaging issues as they come in. And on this slide, Christine and I created this to show the goal, because a lot of our hardware and software is aidable by BOCES. We want to purchase this year, get money back. Purchase next year, get money back. We're going to keep that peaks and valleys pretty much even. You can see the line drawn in the middle does show over time as things go up. The reason why it's on more of a growth trajectory is because we already have the big systems in place, which would be the phone system, the PA system, Toshiba printers, all the big ticket items that kind of were rolled in the first 10 years that I've been here. Now we're going to need to be replaced. So replacing a core server is around $180,000. But you don't do that every year, you do that maybe every 8 to 10 years. So we've taken into account those big hit years, like next year will be the phone system, the year after that is the security camera system. Made sure we didn't put them in the same year so that we can kind of keep that even. Another vehicle we are using is the MIPAs, multi-year purchase agreement. So instead of purchasing something and incurring the cost of 1 year, we divide it over 3. So it's kind of like a lease or a, I guess you could consider like a mortgage, if you will, where you can still obtain the big ticket item, but you're not paying for it all in 1 year. So by using a 3-year MIPA, the 3rd year that one falls off, we add the next one. And so we kind of roll those MIPAs so that there's no peaks or valleys for the big ticket items. And that is my part. Moving on now, John.
So this is the staffing of our facilities. We are not adding any positions. As you can see, this will remain the same as we are moving into next year. Obviously, our facilities provide basically, the cleaning of the buildings, buildings and grounds, the maintenance, snow removal. We are currently really implementing a master library schedule. I'll talk about that in a second, which has really helped us out to plan areas that need to be reserved, that outside groups need, what we need within the buildings as far as instructional spaces or athletic spaces. We are continuing to upgrade our door access controls, and I'll talk about that in a second. And we are really going to start planning for a 5-year long-range facilities program. Again, kind of like the technology department, to make sure that our costs are level, that we don't have the peaks and the valleys. But we also support our facilities because without the proper equipment, without the proper resources, this campus could go really south very, very quickly. But again, our staffing is staying the same, and our facilities department right now is doing a fantastic job, especially with the winter that we've had, and moving into our new capital project. Some of the highlights, over the summer, we repainted the elementary halls, really the whole inside of the elementary school. So if you've been down there, what a difference. We have a capital outlay project that's currently in progress. Again, that's an annual $100,000 project that we prepare for. This year is the elementary STEM room. There's going to receive new ceiling, lighting, and flooring. And if you've been back there yet, there is no ceiling currently in there. And so I apologize to Tammy for kind of getting in there, but those projects need to be completed by the end of the year. So we're really going to be looking forward in the next 2 to 3 months to get that complete. Obviously, we have our new capital project that's focusing in on the technology, science, art, and facts areas in the back with the wood shop. And I believe by tomorrow afternoon at this time, you will see the staging of the contractors in the back of our middle high school parking lot. And they are going to get moving on a new community stadium and all of the track and field apparatuses and the new parking lot. So that's actually coming about a month early, which we're really excited for. And I have sent out information to the public and the community about some of the parking spaces in the back not being able to be utilized. And I know that Rob, I believe yesterday, sent out a little foreshadowing of the drone picture, and we will continue to do that to keep the community and our staff and people updated on the progress of the outside work. We continue to have our security upgrades. We're always enhancing our door hardening. We're going to be looking at classrooms. I will talk on the next slide. We apply for the New York Safe building aid. That's around $25,000, which allows us to purchase additional cameras And again, the door access controls. Obviously, you'll know that we have a fob here on the community room, a fob in district office. So wherever we feel that we need to add these enhanced controls, we will. And the capital project probably will be through, I'd say, about the next 18 to 20 months. So hopefully it'll be completed through September of 2026. I have to give our facilities, our custodians, our buildings and grounds crew a round of applause, because they have to empty all these rooms out, the locker rooms. I know Todd Hoffheinz has already been moved out. Julia is next. And it is not easy to move that equipment. Obviously, you know that we have storage pods near the tennis courts out there, and our crew really just buckles down and tightens their belts and just moves everybody out. They're very organized, and they really do what the teachers want and what our contractors need. So I have to give huge credit to Jordan and his crew. They look exhausted at the end of the day, and rightfully so, because this is just a lot of extra work when you have a capital project that normally doesn't occur year to year. And this is in addition to their normal jobs of keeping our buildings clean and our grounds clean. So kudos to them. Just a couple things. Once this capital project happens going into the summer, we do have budgeted some pavement and sealing and striping. Obviously, if you pull into the middle high school, you'll see that there's potholes, especially out on Maltby Road. We'll be taking care of that. We do have some equipment replacements. If you recall, last year we did eliminate Jordan's equipment line. We have added that back in. He is in need of a new pickup, a new plow, and a zero-turn mower to keep our facilities and campus great. That's roughly around $70,000, and hopefully we're able to purchase those moving ahead with our budget. As far as Josh's staffing goes for the transportation, it remains the same. The only difference is we do have full-time drivers. It is very hard to have substitute bus drivers, especially the morning of or the afternoon of. So we did have one of our drivers. We do have them as a full-time sub driver. That helps us because there are a lot of mornings where something happens and next Josh is out on the road. And so to have a full-time sub driver basically on call or to pick up where we have the gaps and the holes is absolutely needed. Again, there's no increase in staff. We just designate that person as a full-time sub driver. The services, just some statistics for you. We have 10 in-district runs, 4 out-of-district runs. If you take a look at our athletic trips, 254 trips at about 15,000 miles. This was all last year. We went on 121 field trips, about 8,000 miles traveled. And it's interesting to take a look at the miles per year of how many miles that they do travel. It's approximately 12 times around the earth in one school year. It's just amazing. We did have 2 accidents. If you recall, we had a deer car. A deer actually ran in front of one of our buses, and then we did have a car back out in front of the football bus on the way to a game Friday. Obviously, thank goodness nobody was hurt. Our bus drivers are awesome. They keep our students and our cargo safe. And so we're just dealing with the after effects of repairing the buses and getting reimbursed for that. And as Josh always does, 45 DOT inspections with 100% passing rate. So our fleet is very safe, and they do a great job, very efficient. Looking ahead, obviously, kind of like technology, kind of like what we do, it's very good to have a replacement schedule. So basically, just for your knowledge, LARD buses usually are about on a 7-year to 8-year recycle, or the warranty for 150,000 miles. Once you get over that, you end up spending more money on repairs than actually replacing a bus. Small buses are the same. So moving into next year, we're looking to purchase one large bus. That's going to replace bus 23, which has a model year of 2017. And we're looking to purchase 2 small buses, replacing 52 and 53, which have model years of 2015 and 2017. Really those, like I said, those vehicles are kind of end of life, and now it's just keeping up with the maintenance. And you certainly don't want to be, spending money upkeeping buses. One of the things that I believe Scott and I want to talk about is really where we are as far as the executive budget proposal. We did receive the minimum 2% increase going into next year for foundation aid with the first run. Again, this modifies the formula to implement the 2 recommendations from that Rockefeller study. They're replacing the free and reduced price lunch counts with what they call an EDR, which is an economically disadvantaged rate. And they really are trying to upgrade the census from 2,000 poverty counts with more of what they call the small area income and poverty estimates. Unfortunately, like I said, we received the minimum 2% increase, which is roughly around $200,000 as far as foundation aid goes. Expense-based aids remained unchanged. That's our BOCES, excess cost, our instructional materials, and our transportation aids. Obviously, moving into next year, we have the universal free school meals, and currently right now on our docket is our survey about the zero emission bus implementation. Obviously, as of 2027, any bus purchases have to be EV, and by 2035, you have to have your full fleet EV. We're waiting on this. Obviously, we've conducted a survey. All of the information and data that they've received from our district and the surrounding districts are sent to NYSERDA. They're sent to the state so they can review if maybe the timelines need to be pushed back a little bit. I'd be very surprised if they aren't, but as of right now, there's no changes to that time frame, so we're just gonna keep plugging along. So what's the overall impact? Student enrollment directly ties to foundation aid formula, which again is another sticking point for small rural districts. We received, again, the 2% foundation aid increase, which is roughly about $200,000. All of our other aids remain the same or decreased. So if you run our report, the total change in state aid that we received as a district from last year going into this school year is actually less. It's about a negative 1.5%, which really hurts us as far as revenues go when we take a look at our expenditures over the next couple of months in our budget workshops. So as far as our next steps, obviously Scott and I continue to monitor the state budget development. The governor's supposed to come with a final budget by April 1st, so there's still some time, but we do monitor any sort of fluctuations or developments as far as that goes. We're going to continue to review school building and department requests, review our current year performance. As of basically the end of November, December, we did put a freeze on this budget. So only emergency purchases at this point we are approving and accepting. And we're going to prepare for our fund balance projection. Again, looking at our current purchase orders and any new requisitions that come in. We're going to continue to review our staffing needs. Obviously, the district is aware right now of 7 retirements, and right now our budget does not have us replacing 6 of those. And what we're going to do, as Scott kind of rides off into the sunset, maybe next month, and we have our new business administrator on board, we are going to create a formal long-range financial plan, reserve plan, and employee retirement plan, so we can really, again, plan out the future if this is the way the state budgets are going to be over the next 3 to 5 years. So our budget calendar, we provided you some information tonight. March 1st, Scott and I need to submit our tax levy limit calculations into the state comptroller. Those are just our initial thoughts. They certainly can be changed. March 18th, we have a board meeting. We will present to you a full budget model presentation. Hopefully by April 1st, we do receive the governor's budget. If we want to, we can have a budget workshop once we are, confirmed of those numbers and solidify those numbers. April 8th, we do have a board meeting, which we will present to you the final budget presentation. The board will need to adopt the budget and also approve the property tax report card within those first 2 weeks in April. And then we will move forward with our budget hearing, and our budget vote, like every other school district in New York State, will be on May 20th. That's all we have for you tonight.
Thank you, guys.
Thank you.
Thank you. Thank you.
Thanks, John. Okay, on to minutes. Be it resolved that the minutes of the January 21st, 2025 regular meeting and the February 11th, 2025 special meeting be approved. Can I get a motion?
So moved.
Second.
Any discussion? All in favor?
Aye.
Opposed? Motion passes. Under visitors requests, Carol, do we have any visitors tonight?
You have one.
Okay. Welcome back.
Good evening. Yeah, I'm back. First off, I want to start by saying, does the OA school board have any policies in place that someone with an active appeal?
Before you start, Mr. Muker, I don't mind to cut you off, but I'm going to. You've got 3 minutes tonight to present to us, whatever you'd like to present. We are going to listen to you. And then if there's questions that are lingering, we can respond back to you after this meeting. So 3 minutes begins whenever you start.
Okay, so I started too early?
No, I just didn't say, but I should have
Okay.
said before you started.
Does the Oakfield-Alabama board have any policies in place at this moment that prevent a member of the public who has an active appeal to the board's decision from speaking?
No, we actually have a policy, it's called 3220, it's called public expression at meetings. And that policy states that all meetings of the board shall be conducted in the public, and the public has the right to attend all such meetings. Public expression at these meetings shall be encouraged, and a specific portion of the agenda shall provide for this privilege of the floor. At its discretion, the board, we can invite people to these meetings. Now, when you do speak at these meetings, which you are doing right now, there is another policy, and it's our policy 3410, and it's our code of conduct. And it's how you are going to conduct yourself at these meetings.
Okay, that wasn't the question I asked you. I know you want to inform me in conduct, but you might not like my demeanor, but it's not a violation because I'm not speaking in the form you wish to. But anyways, moving forward here, you're saying that it's my right to attend this board meeting for your quote. Why was I informed on 6 different occasions that I did not have this right? And I have an email that I brought to the board's attention through the superintendent, the principal, and yourself. And no one seems they need to address a parent's concerns or respond to a parent's concerns. But, as the officers informed me, he's well aware of personal matters with the nurse and my child pooping their pants in the classroom. So why is it that we feel like it's a big club, and as long as you guys are in agreement, the parents don't need to know? I brought some concerns to your attention. I provided evidence. There was a decision made. Some people are be able to make, hey, I made a mistake, I'm sorry, let's move on. I'm speaking to anyone watching on the internet. The school board is removing parents out of the school environment, away from their children, trespassing them because they don't agree with their words. You're gonna say someone caused a disturbance because you don't wanna hear what they have to say is unacceptable. And for anyone to neglect to review the evidence is unacceptable. But when we're writing concerns that, hey, we witnessed you guys are talking about a budget and door infrastructure and infrastructure to protect the facility. I can prove you're not utilizing the stuff that you have now. Our child's education's more important than the potholes in your parking lot or your raise or whatever you think's necessary. I think the public obviously have a right to attend these hearings, and I support it. But I have a list of multiple concerns parent has. I can read them all off if anyone would like to respond. Do the members of the public have a right to attend the board meeting? I think we finally clarified this, but it's been documented by your staff on 6 different occasions that members of the public don't have this right, including Mr. Fiskus. Can I get a yes or a no? Or, I know you guys don't feel you need to answer parents or members of the public, but I'm here to inform you and remind you why you're sitting here. So with that, if you wish to reply, please do.
And whether or not the public is allowed to attend these meetings, yes, they are.
Okay, so it'd be nice to inform your staff that. Can students be removed from school because the vice principal has a suspicion of wrongdoing but can't provide any evidence?
Is this the list of your 15 questions? that
You're
you
aware
sent?
of it?
Yes, I am. You sent
Okay.
it to me.
And you don't feel you owe parents a response? I've had emails that are 3 months old, no response, I'm not allowed on the property, but you expect me to send my kids to school?
Mr. Muker, you're almost done with your time here, and we have provided you with the opportunity to executive
So I'm gonna
session.
move on if you're not gonna answer my question. Is it acceptable to have children to leave the premises without a parent or guardian showing identification to leave campus? According to your code policy, it's not acceptable. Is it acceptable to ban a parent based on the choice of language when it's not interfering with school's function? That is not accurate. Is it acceptable for your staff members to falsify statements and said they witnessed an assault in great detail? No, that's not acceptable. You know, when you guys send a letter out that someone's playing inappropriate music in the gym and a parent says, what has been done to make sure this doesn't happen? Mr. Fiskus' response, it's not your concerns, this is a private matter, is unacceptable. How is it a private matter when you send a letter out to I think you guys just forgot who you work for. You know, so it's unfortunate that you guys couldn't come to and hear me out and look at the facts and try to do something for the parents' children rather than protect your little club and save face. Well, I'll be at every board meeting saying this, so you can feel uncomfortable all you want, but it's our tax dollars. Your guys' tax dollars don't fund your own job. It's the people you look down on that fund your job. So they should be heard, and parents shouldn't be banned from their children's life because 8 years I've attended the school, you've never had an incident with me. The first time I say the F word in a private conversation with my daughter, in a proper setting, you guys banned me. And then because I have video evidence, I asked her to sit down. You said I punched my daughter in the face and her head bounced off the glass. Like you know, I'm here to say, why is things gotta go this far? Now I gotta have an appeal to the commissioner to overturn it? You guys are talking about budget stuff that's like, you don't even utilize or implement the policies you have. You don't follow your code of conduct. You like to spend money on new projects. You don't.
Mr. Muker, your time is done.
Thank you.
Appreciate your comments. Enjoy your evening.
Thank you.
You're welcome. On to the approval of warrants. Be it resolved that after our audit of the bills, payment of the warrants, and internal claims audit reports be approved. Can I get a motion?
So moved.
Second.
Any discussion? All in favor?
Aye.
Opposed? Motion passes. On to the treasurer's reports. Be it resolved that the treasurer reports for December 2024 be approved. Can I get a motion?
So
Can I get a second?
Second.
All in favor?
Aye.
Opposed? Motion passes. John, we ended up not having policy tonight, right?
Correct.
Okay. Scott, anything for us tonight?
I think it was pretty much covered
Yeah.
by Fiskus and our task at hand.
Okay, well, thanks, Scott. Scott, it's been a pleasure. The last board workshop was very, very, very nice. It was nice to meet you and listen to what you had. John, anything else to report about tonight?
Sure. Couple items, things that I want to recognize. The staging for our construction of our new outdoor facilities and stadium will occur this week. Again, for the community to realize, the parking area out back of the middle high school will be limited to the spots closest to the building and the greenhouse area. All other places will be roped off and inaccessible. I'm excited to start this work, again, early, and can't wait for it to begin. So I do know that we have some concerts coming up. I do know we have a sectional game tonight. Obviously, they didn't stage this afternoon. I don't know about tomorrow night, but we do have events upcoming, obviously in the next few months, and the parking out back will be very limited. I want to congratulate Coach Bueller on another successful indoor winter track season. The boys won their 4th consecutive Class B3 sectional title on Sunday. And I do want to recap, I know JC is not here, he's watching the sectional game, but if I can just read some of the sectionals from Sunday at Nazareth. Again, the boys won the sectional championship, that's their 4th consecutive year. The girls placed 2nd. Also winning individual sectional titles, there were 12 that received a patch. The boys' 3,200 meter relay of Mark Bonderook, Trevor Innes, Elijah Carmichael, and Brian Lagunas. Girls 3,200 meter relay, Caroline Luft, Kaylee Douglas, Kaylee Kramer, Evelyn Chadbourne. The long jump went to Jackson Del Priori. The pole vault, Paige Harding. Shot put and weight throw, which are 2 separate events obviously, Landon Pangrazio. And the shot put and weight throw for Riley Kirkham. So just unbelievable turnout. They rocked it again. So congratulations to all the athletes and Coach Bueller and staff for preparing them. They are here all the time after school, running the halls, in the weight rooms, doing stations, and it's just amazing to see the number of kids participating. So I want to thank the board for supporting this program, a handful of years back and bring it back, and it's just, they're setting the world on fire, so congratulations to all. A few exciting events are coming up over the next month. Next Tuesday, March 4th, is our middle high school Pops concert at 7 o'clock. Always great to showcase our students on ensembles with their different talents. So again, that's next Tuesday at 7 o'clock. Next Thursday, March 6th, is our National Honor Society induction at 6:30. The high school DC close-up trip is set for the week of March 9th. Correct me if I'm wrong, there's 7 students going?
I believe that's correct.
Yes, 7 students going. And we have scheduled the elementary student-led parent conferences for Thursday, March 13th and Thursday, March 20th, which will be early dismissals for our elementary students at 11 o'clock. And more information obviously will be coming from the elementary school. I just want to wish, like tonight, good luck to our winter sports teams during sectionals. The boys are playing now, the girls play tomorrow, and all our state qualifiers. And that's all I have. Good exciting times.
Thanks, John. Glenn, anything else to add tonight?
Yeah, so one of the things that I met with my teachers and our related services about when I first took over was the communication about when meetings were happening. So we created a spreadsheet, we worked with our teachers, they were able to figure out who they want identified to join. So let's say Robin Bonanno's 5th grade, she's the CT, but if this child is struggling more in math, maybe we're inviting Stacy Hemmer. If it's more of a reading, maybe it's Ashley Rubin. So they were able to kind of identify their people. Then we took it a step further for parents and we sent home tentative save the dates. So we were able to say to families, these are the meetings that we have in 3 months. Let us know how that's gonna work or not, but it also gives them time to rearrange their work schedule or call us to say that's really a bad day. And that's been working really nicely. I've had families call to say, I'm off every Wednesday. Can I have a Wednesday date? Yep, absolutely no problem. So now the next step is that formal invite that we have to have a minimum of 5 days out. We're sending them out 3 weeks ahead of time. So the communication has just kind of been tightened up. And we've received a lot of positive feedback about this, so that if there's any confusion in the community, email me, call me. But I know that there's some different notices that we are sending out this year that we haven't sent in the past.
Thanks, Lynn. Connie?
I'm gonna piggyback off Lynn just for a little bit. I've been here 6 years, and there've been a lot of different special education directors. I came into this job with a little special education knowledge, like BOCES background. I've seen the good, I've seen the bad, and the decision made when the board approved Lynn to be the director of special education was a right decision. I'm in both buildings, back and forth, all the time. I deal with MTSS, the kids who need the extra academic support, with Matt and Heather, and how we're gonna coordinate that. And each day, the ship gets righted more and more and more. Each day, there's another process. Each day, I see her meeting with Matt to make sure that scheduling is okay for our kids, to make sure the voice is heard. Each day, I see her down in the building, in those self-contained rooms, helping those kids. Without this shift, to be real honest, I don't know what would have happened to that population. It was getting hard. It was getting hard, and you don't have somebody who can lead that. Matt and Heather can't lead all the special education. They can't. I can't lead the special education. Somebody needs to do that. And we talk about academic, we talk about wanting 100% of our kids to graduate. Well, 100% of our kids includes our special ed population. And I think that's been a piece that, it's been a weak link since I've been here. And I feel like that link has been strengthened. And I think we really are on that trajectory to get all our kids, no matter where their support needs are. So, thank you.
Very
I know that wasn't about curriculum, but I.
No, that's all right. It's nice.
It is,
But I see
Keep
it,
going.
I've been seeing it more and more every single day, right?
Any other compliments you want to throw around? How am I looking tonight, Connie?
I did my hair tonight. Does it look okay? Is it okay?
I know. No, it's the truth, and in everything that I do, like, that's a huge impact on our whole district. And it's just such a positive one. So thank you guys for saying, yep, Lynn, we believe in you, you can do this.
It's comforting to know there'll be longevity in that position.
Yeah.
Because that's not going anywhere. She's very
That's right.
Chains me to the desk. And I'll have to leave.
Yeah, locked in.
That's really nice to hear. So Heather, you're up. Anything nice to say about Lynn?
Tons of nice
Yeah.
feel the same way.
Oh my goodness, I do. She knows I do. And I want to tell you all, you looked great tonight.
Oh, boy. Thank you, Heather. There we
I'm
go.
done. No, I'm kidding.
Oh, come on now.
No, so truly, like, February flew. March will not, so I'm going to take a moment of just some fun that happened in February too, like elementary, Valentine's Day, we had Wellness Day, 100th day of school.
100th day.
100th day,
Finding
yes.
you.
Yay.
Yes,
Yeah.
finding me, yes, so that was fun. Found one outside, I'm pretty sure a basketball player moved that one because I was told they were all inside, outside door. So yeah, lots of fun, but also I really did want to say thank you to Bree, who is in our building. She has been 360ing those rooms from sickness, and in turn, a shout out to Lindsay Cudney, who handles it somehow with a smile. I'm like running the opposite way, and she's just smiling and just has one flu, it was just a lot. So her smile and kind place for the kids, and Bree really working hard to 360 those rooms before the day starts, so the kids have a fresh start each day, and we can keep as many of them in school as possible is greatly appreciated. So looking forward to, we did have our faculty meeting this morning where Kristen like facts and finding a fun way to hopefully increase those for the kids while they have a good time doing it. So we're hoping that brings some fun to a very long march.
Thanks, Heather.
Thanks, Heather.
Mr. Pearson?
I'll highlight a couple things. We have started our schedule, and it's an ongoing process. There's stages to it. We're at the beginning part of creating what will be the middle school schedule, because there's not much wiggle room there. So we start by grade level. We collaborate with the OATA to do that. Today, Adam Reed sat in there. It was the first time he had been part of that process, and we knocked out the 6th grade schedule in a pretty short period of time. There's still a ton of work to do. Lynn joined us, JC, myself. One of the steps we took prior to that is deciding who's going to teach what classes. So this process will be ongoing. We'll work with the teachers union every step of the way, and it'll be actually going on between now and August, so it's a long process. The other thing I wanted to highlight is I've talked to this for many times about our student sports system. It's something I'm proud of. It's something I think is effective. So word is getting out. We had a meeting yesterday with Wayland Cohocton administrators who want to know what we're doing and try and emulate something like it. So we were happy to share those ideas, and it's something that we think is working and word is getting out.
Thanks, Mr. Peterson. Rob, anything else tonight?
We had our family night for AI last week, which was very well attended. PTO was awesome, helping us with get people here with food and prizes and things like that. Ballard was one of our featured presenters, so we had, thank you for that. We had a nice angle of the classroom-based, business world-based, and then Chris Harris at the end was kind of our keynote speaker. He presents nationally and did a wide scope of it. So we're bringing Chris back, we're bringing the teachers back, Megan as well, back here with Joe on the teacher side, and that will be March 24th on Monday for staff development. So what we did for the families and parents, we're going to now show for the teachers, kind of so they see the congruency with that. The drone stuff is phenomenal. I'm excited with that. I am getting my pilot's license, by the way, and
Wait a second. Is that real?
Pilot.
Like,
yes,
is that?
I'll be certified by the FAA
Yes, yes,
to commercially fly unmanned aircraft. So it's exciting because I can run a course. I can really stand in one place because I visibly can see the whole campus, and I make my waypoints of where I want the individual points of interest to be. Hit the green button to go, and it flies its own course all the way through, and when it's done, it comes back and lands right where I am. So I'm thinking it's not going to take more than 10-15 minutes when I make one of these updates. It's actually longer to do the editing and uploading to the web. So pretty incredible little device, and I think it's just the start of, because Alex in our department is also going to get his pilot's license. It may be an after-school club. We might have a drone league. There's actually a coaster already in BOCES that 4 other districts in our region are doing now. So kids can do a kind of an extracurricular club or maybe even an elective someday. So that's coming. And I'll close with, and a week and a half I'll be headed off to Wisconsin. I've never been there for the Brainstorm Conference. Fully covered by the Brainstorm because I actually now an employee of Brainstorm.
Of course you are.
I presented for 4 years there, and after last year being year 3, they were like, you just present to all these, can we hire you so that we can cover all your expenses and get you to Wisconsin, Sandusky, and Poconos. So there's 3 of these a year, and obviously you're dealing with other IT people from different areas. You hear everything from the instructional side to the IT side to the cameras to the phones. So I always come back with something that I copy or steal from someone else. So next month when we meet, I'll share what I come up with.
Bring back a cheese head.
Yes.
Yeah.
Thanks, Rob.
Awesome.
Okay, on to new business. Item 8.1, be it resolved that items 8.2 through 8.12 be approved by consent agenda. Can I get a motion?
So moved.
Any discussion? All in favor?
Aye.
Opposed? Motion passes. Let's see here. All right, communications, Carla, I didn't really see any communications this week or this month. Discussion roundtable, there's, if anybody's interested in running for Genesee Valley board member, they're looking for candidates right now, so if that's something you're looking to do. I suppose maybe you might want to talk to Ed Engel, he could steer you in a direction. So, on to personnel. Be it resolved that items 11.2 through 11.11 be approved by consent agenda. Can I get a motion?
So moved.
Can I get a second? Any discussion? All in favor?
Aye.
Opposed? Motion passes. Sorry here, that was through 11, right?
Correct.
Okay, so 11-12. Permanent recommendation. Be it resolved that the Board of Education approve Alexandra Holmes to a permanent position of occupational therapist effective January 2nd, 2025. Can I get a motion?
So moved.
Second.
I think they went to Matt. Sorry, I think Maria. Any discussion?
I didn't say anything. I like
All
her.
in favor?
She's great.
Opposed? Motion passes. Congratulations, Alexandra, and thank you.
She's at a wake tonight.
Oh.
She really wanted to be here, and she asked me to
Oh,
let you know
dear.
that that's why she's not here. So she wanted to say thank you. She was very
Well,
excited.
she's very welcome.
That's
good. Yes.
I love that
She's
she's part of our
wonderful.
permanent staff.
She's amazing.
I
That's
love
great.
it. So 11-13, tenure appointment. Be it resolved that based upon the recommendation of Superintendent Megan Schmieder, be granted tenure effective March 2nd, 2025. Can I get a motion?
So moved.
moved.
Fighting.
Second.
Any discussion?
Meter.
Thank you.
Yeah.
All in favor?
Aye.
Opposed? Motion passes. Megan, it's great that you're here. It's hard to believe that you're already at this moment.
I know, I'm feeling that.
Seems like it's gone
great.
fast. I know when I first started on the board, we kind of cycled through a couple of people. And it was like, why can't we just get somebody great? And we found you, and we're very lucky to have you. You're one of my son's favorites. He really enjoys you. And I think we have a little bit of appreciation here for you tonight. So, Mr. Fiskus and I think, oh, here. Wait a second, here, there we go. Sticker as well, right?
Yes.
Yeah, hold on.
Sticker?
Yeah, you are.
Wow.
Yes, you-
I'm really excited about the sticker.
Third graders go wild
I
over it.
do
You should too.
so- Thank
So
you.
here, there you go. Here, we'll maybe get on either side of you there. There you go.
These are so.
And I don't make them any better.
I don't know.
There we
Wow,
go.
thank you.
Yes, well, congratulations.
watching them take
Very deserving.
Thank you.
Thank you, yeah.
Yay. Congrats. You're not a hugger, are you?
Oh.
You're not? Oh, I hate it. I'm not a hugger, but I am a.
Oh, me too.
I'm
Touch
a.
is fine, but like physically, don't envelop me in
Okay.
a bubble.
Closing remarks. We can, am I starting us off tonight?
Sure.
Thanks.
Congratulations, Coach Bueller and the kids. Not to take anything away from the kids, but you think forward and you're like, what is Bueller's reputation gonna be in like 20 years from now? Like, just everything that he's won and done, and you know, no matter.
Hopefully he's retired, Pete.
Yeah, hopefully he's retired.
So I can put in some time.
No, I didn't know he might not. be.
Probably not, right? Sorry to interrupt, I won't do
Yeah,
that.
but it's just great to see, like, even, you know, as the kids turn over, like every group of kids, like he just has the knack of working with those kids. But congratulations to all of them and all the, I think Paige is going to States, too.
Yes, there's qualifiers, I believe, this weekend, but no doubt.
Yeah.
She's head and shoulders above the rest there, so.
Congratulations to her. You know, obviously we have budget challenges, but, you know, I think we have the group that's gonna work through it, and just like we do every year. So, kind of look forward to that, and I'm gonna jump on the Len bandwagon a little bit. Len, you're probably the one sole reason that me and my wife moved to Oakfield. When we first met with you, when we were looking at school districts to come here, and it was evident to me the day that we came here just how much you put the kids on your heart. I don't think there's anybody in this district that puts as many kids on your heart as you do. Actually, when we put you in that position, I thought, man, how unfair is that for all the other kids to kind of lose you? But I also know you're probably not staying in your box very well.
No.
You're reaching out outside of that box.
She's got an electric fence. Get her.
But no, it's just the heart that you have for the kids that walk these halls every day is unbelievable.
Thank you.
Thanks, Pete. Ally?
Oh, there's been a lot going on in February. I want to say thank you for that AI presentation. Mr. Chris Harris was absolutely phenomenal. It is an ongoing joke we're getting freaky with AI in the Emerson house. So anytime we have a conversation, it ends with, you getting freaky with AI? I would love to come to the teacher presentation just to listen to him speak. I loved it. It was amazing. Thank you very much, Rob, for that. I'm glad I snuck out of work early. And then congratulations, Megan. It's amazing to have you here in OA. I can validate that being in Washington, D.C. at the Library of Congress, you were the only teacher on my daughter's brain, thinking how wonderful it would be for you to be there with her. So she thinks very highly of you, and I'm sure all the other kids do too. So thank you for being such a wonderful teacher.
She also got me a sticker too, so.
She did. So we didn't buy any gifts for anybody on that trip except for you. Congrats to all of the senior athletes this year. You all have had an amazing game. You've just done phenomenal for yourselves. Congratulations to all those that are going on to states and qualifiers. Amazing. Good luck to the girls tomorrow. I hope you can keep moving on, and hopefully the boys are doing just as well tonight. Other than that, I look forward to the music next week. I can't wait. And February went way too fast, so we look forward to March.
Thanks, Natalie. Mary?
Oh,
Think
going
you're
down
down
to
there.
the other end, huh?
Tricky.
Mixing it up today. Yeah, no, I think echo a lot of what we heard today. Congratulations, Megan. That's super exciting for you. I think, Pete Bueller, amazing person. He's been my buddy since kindergarten, actually. We started school together, and I agree. I think, no matter what, he's going to be dynamic with any set of students. They're lucky to learn from him. He's just a great personality and encourages people to do their best. And I think back of my time with him, and I think that most people's, his legacy will be similar across the board for anyone that gets to experience it in their lifetime. So that's awesome. Also, we totally last month were remiss in mentioning Mary Kalinowski's retirement because I was too busy being awkward about my mom. So we totally did not say anything. And so congratulations, Mary. She's amazing. She's just been with the district for so long and offers so much to the kids. And she's an amazing resource that will be missed for sure. So thank you for all of your time and dedication to us as well. I think those are kind of the only new ads I have from this end, so I'll pass it on.
Thanks, Mallory.
Yeah.
Maria?
It's me. Yep. Well, Lynn, I wanted to know.
Do you want us to keep making it
So
up,
it's
or
weird.
we can
It's
keep
weird.
going?
We went to high school together.
Yeah.
She has some different versions of me.
Yeah, I was going to say something very different than everyone else shared tonight, but another time. No, actually, it's funny that I was going to say something about your department. The communication has been on point this year. And it's funny you mentioned it because I got my notice for my own child's meeting 3 months in advance, which is unheard of. But I think that it's very much appreciated for parents to have that notice, but also that collaborative approach to scheduling a meeting that works best for everybody. I think oftentimes in districts, this is the meeting date and the time, and if you can make it, great, and if not, sorry. Yeah. So thank you for taking extra steps to make sure that parents can truly be present either virtually, on the phone, or in person. I think that that's huge. Congrats, Mag.
Thank you.
Yeah. So Mag used to work at the YMCA, just so everyone knows. So I'd like to think that she got her start with me years ago.
Maria's claiming credit and training.
Yeah.
Everything to do with
It's
you.
fine.
That's what she's doing right now.
Allie Holmes too. I want to say congratulations to her. Tully was also one of her first kiddos, and so I'd like to thank her for that too. Allie offers a unique set of skills and experience to our team that goes beyond OT. She's been working a lot, even with my own kiddo, with vision therapy, which is not something that we've had a lot of here at the district. So I'm really excited for her to permanently join this team because I think she's going to be able to reach a lot of children. Thank you for the presentation today, all of the admin. I really, really appreciate the visuals and the breakdown. It's very helpful to see those things as we go into another budget season and making informed decisions based on actual data and facts. So thank you for taking the time to do that, and hopefully we get more of that when we start to, scrub numbers and make some big decisions. So thanks, everyone. I hope the boys are winning right now.
I know.
They were up by 10 when I
Any
woke up.
updates?
Okay.
Starting the fourth.
Okay.
Echoing a lot of what everyone else said, but yes, I can't say enough great about Lynn. I mean, it is, like, you know how hard it is to stay in your box, Lynn, which is a great resource because you really have a lot of input and resource for this whole entire district, so I appreciate that, and it's great to have experience for that. Presentations are great, love it, love hearing about it, I love seeing a lot of future discussions, a lot of why and what possibilities are surrounding that, and that's really helpful, again, going into the budget season with some challenging situations that we feel like are just year after year, but that's just what we have to deal with, and looking forward is gonna help understand and be transparent about, for us, making decisions, but why those decisions are somehow made. A lot of times that gets lost behind the scenes when you just don't know why things are done. So I appreciate hearing that, and I think we all do, and I do agree with Pete. We have a great team, and I feel very good about decisions, although they'll be hard, moving forward with that. So I appreciate that, thank you. The AI presentation was great. Most of my whole family went, and it was wonderful. And Mallory Benjamin, thank you for being one of the presenters. And you weren't gonna be awkward. All the speakers did a great job. Mallory was this phenomenal, giving us a little bit of insight in what she does in her day-to-day, which is a lot.
Yeah, I got a lot.
It's a lot. It's high level. It's a big deal. So I thank you for trying to bring that down to our level, because that's a lot, and it was great, and I learned a ton from all the presenters, the teachers, and that was great, so thank you for doing that for the community. And it scared the kids, but we have a lot of discussion, and it is, Natalie, we were like having those discussions about that too, about getting freaky, and that's kind of scary, but it's good, it's all good talk. So that was really great. A couple things, good luck to the sectionals for boys, girls, everybody moving forward. Some teams that didn't get talked about in some of the athletic updates for winter. I think winter cheer probably ended their season. I'm not sure specifically what details they had, but they had apparently a good season. And the swim team, I do have to give a little shout out to. They had 8 kids this year, and they placed second in the GR, which is phenomenal for a team of 8 kids. And the only team they lost to, they were undefeated. Byronbridge and Leroy is 2 schools. A large team with a lot of depth, and we were undefeated up until that time. So I do want to give the coaches credit, the kids credit. They worked really hard. That means for them, 8 kids to place second in the GR with such a small team, that means a lot of hard work, a lot of good coaching, and that's a phenomenal credit that they should be acknowledged for. So I do want to also give a little bit of a shout out. Happens to be my daughter, but Tori won the intersectional patch for backstroke for the GR League and the GRNO. That has not happened to a female athlete since I think Maddie LeGrew in maybe 2017, 18. So that's a really big deal for our small community. It happens to me a kiddo, so I do have to give her a shout out, but that's a really big deal. So thank you to all the coaches, and good luck to all the teams moving forward.
That's amazing.
Congrats to her. Congrats. Riley did tell me Sunday that she's coming for those titles.
Yeah, they're probably done. They're probably gone. That's a good deal. That's Riley.
Congratulations, Megan, and as Jackie said, good luck to all the competing sectional athletes. I think the girls are going off tomorrow. Sounds like the boys are doing well tonight. Hopefully it stays that way. Budget, it looks like it'll be another challenging budget season. We'll get through that. Included in that, of course, is elections. I know that a couple of you know, but I've decided not to run again. I think Justin will run, but there will be a seat that will be available. But for those of you that are Oakfield residents and registered Republicans, I'm going to be running for the Oakfield Town Board. So stick around. I've got a petition for you to sign.
Shameless.
Shame. Well, listen, I gotta get 20 signatures. I got a month to do it. I know there'll be a few Oakfield residents here.
Plug.
I'd like to recognize everything that's happened. I appreciate the presentation here. I do believe it's a student-first budget that we're preparing, and I appreciate highlighting all of what we're doing here. The other thing that I want to acknowledge too is the construction that's about to occur. I don't think people realize how hard it is to continue to teach and have construction going on around you. Mrs. Cassidy is right now in the midst of some heavy duty overhauls, but like the hope is that it's a much better place for her to teach and reach our students than it was before we started. It's stressful for capital projects to move, to change possibly your routines. It throws you off a little bit. So in the next couple of months especially, we really appreciate the positivity around this because it's going to be worth the effort at the end. I also would like to thank Scott for being here. It's always a little scary to lose your business administrator as you are getting ready to go out to a budget. Scott, you made me feel very comfortable at our last meeting and you come highly recommended. I really appreciate your experience. I won't say your age, but your experience. And so thank you so much for putting me at ease at least. The word club was mentioned earlier. I don't believe this is a club. It's a group of people that work really well together and care a lot about this district and the students and staff that work here. And I will never, ever believe otherwise. So I appreciate all of you that are sitting here with me, and Matt, I wish you the best of luck. I'm working on more of a scroll-like speech for when you actually leave. It'll be pretty something else. I'd like to enter executive session. Let me read this correctly, because I don't usually. Be it resolved that the Board of Education will enter executive session at 7:11 for the purposes of discussing a personal matter in terms of the superintendent contract. Can I get a motion?
So moved.
Second.
Any discussion? All in favor?
Aye.
Opposed? Motion passes. Thanks a lot, guys. You have a good night.
Everybody.
Thank you. Congratulations.